Virgo, hello, how are you? It is me, Lauren B. Welcome to the Untitled Tarot. Thank you so much for joining me. I really appreciate you guys being here. So, Virgo, I have a couple cards laid out on the deck for you. They just kind of fell out and I've been dipping into them for a while. Energetically, I was kind of sitting here in your energy for a minute. I just kind of closed my eyes and I saw this swirling and I thought, is that a tornado? I heard, no, it's a whirlpool. But what I saw more, it felt almost like a drain, almost like when you fill up a bathtub, right? And then you pull the plug, and then the water kind of goes down the drain in like a whirlpool. So it's not huge. It's not something like in the ocean where it consumes everything. It's a very controlled drainage. And then you have like an empty bowl. Like everything's clean, cleared out. It's a very interesting energy. And then these three cards fell out and I was like, oh, this is what I'm talking about. So before we even get into anything else, the three cards that fell out and whatever else we're going to chop up live for you, let's just get into a little prayer. Yes? Very good. So Father God, thank you for being here with me and my Virgos. I ask that you bless these messages, that you cover these cards, that we bring through messages for Virgo's highest of love, light, ascension, alignment, activation. We praise you and we thank you to the utmost high. In Jesus' name, amen. Amen? Very good. So Virgo, we're doing your spread this week. I know it's like very bright and there's a lot going on over here with the lights and everything. Normally it's the lights up there, but now it's the lights outside. We're going to do a combination of the Light Seers Tarot and the Mystical Shaman Oracle. I've been mixing decks this week. Sand Tarot does that a lot. And it just like came over my spirit this week to start mixing like different decks around. So it's been really fun. I've been having a lot of fun with it. So I hope that you enjoy it. The first card that we have out for you, Virgo, is the Butterfly Garden. Card number 48. That breaks down to a 12. Now, here I see you sort of in a state of gratitude, grateful for what you have, feeling pretty abundant, honestly, but looking at this flower, almost in like a very kind of manifesting, a daydreamy, imagining energy, sort of wondering how to make this thing in your hand sort of grow, bloom, blossom, yes? Completely unaware of the fact that there is this gorgeous butterfly at the top of your head. And it almost looks like a paisley on here. So that might be something for you. Maybe you have like a paisley bedspread or a purse or something. But as you look closer, there's actually all of these flowers on the butterfly's wings. And butterflies represent transformation, transformative changes, like 555. You could be seeing a lot as well. So it's very interesting that there's this aspect of change, like right above your head. Perhaps this is an aspect of your higher self. This could be an aspect of your angels. It's so fascinating, and it's working on transforming the very thing. And it seems like this is its specialty, right? You're trying to make this flower bloom. So this could be a lot of things for you. It's very general read, Virgo. This could be business for you, career. This could be creative passions that you're working on. This could be a relationship, but something growth. You're an earth sign. You want something to bloom, to blossom. And meanwhile, this could be even like a download, like instructions on how to do this coming in for you right now, like I said, or an aspect of your higher self. But whatever this is, an angel, one of your guides, this is their specialty, is flowers, right? Just like how down here in the 3D, we all have our specialties, right? Some of us are bakers or candlestick makers, or we're physicians, or we're artists, or we're very business, whatever it is. Our guides are the same sort of way. So are angels. They have certain specialties, right? Like Archangel Gabriel helps us with our confidence. Archangel Michael helps us with pulling in that inner strength, perhaps that outer strength that we need. It's very fascinating, but here you are in this kind of daydreamy, imagining, manifesting energy. And then meanwhile, the next card that you have out is the Magician. And here it is, the Whirlpool, right here. And what I think is so fascinating, and I've never really noticed it in this card before, is that you're sitting on like a bed of green, right? And how do we manifest things? We talk about this a lot. From your heart chakra, which is represented by the color green. What do plants and green, growth, that's how you bloom and blossom things, from that open heart space, not being afraid, allowing yourself to be vulnerable. And where you're sitting, there is, like, with all of this yellow, it feels like sun energy, like the card sun energy, being like divinely favored and blessed, right? And there are a few things growing in the background for you. You got a few things like cooking up for you in the background, yes, but it's not the full overgrowth that you want. But what I thought was so noticing on this bed of green, almost like a salad, right? It looks almost though as if it's water, and I got like water bed. I don't know if any of you guys have ever sat on a water bed, but it's something that you sit on and it's like you're constantly moving, right? But it is a firm foundation. Like, you can lay on it, you can sleep on it, like, you're not going to go anywhere, you're not going to float away on your waterbed, but there is constant moving. It is this sense that while you have a few things brewing in the background, you're trying to figure out how to make those blossom even more, or to bring even new things in to blossom and bloom for you, but things around you are changing a lot. Again, it's like this whirlpool down the drain sort of energy, that perhaps there are a lot of things that you've decided to pull the plug on, or there's a lot of cleansing, clearing out the clutter, whether it's with relationships, things that you're doing, things you're associating with, places you're going, emotionally, attachments, whatever it may be, literal chakra cleansing clearings, aura cleansing clearings, whatever it is for you, that you're in a constant state of movement and change. Maybe you're just very, very busy right now, Virgo, ever since your season, I'm hearing as well. And yet here's this whirlpool, this pool of manifestation, like fountain of youth, right? Because when we bring in these new things, we have this new growth that's young, fresh, new life energy. We did just have that Aries full moon, which is the first sign in the zodiac too. So that could have given you a little bit of that extra oomph that you needed. And, you know, I looked at it for a moment, and it looked as though you were kind of pouring like prayers and intentions into this whirlpool, right? Trying to create this momentum. And then I looked closer and I realized that, as a matter of fact, for me right now, it looks as though you're pulling out of this pool into your hand. And the way he's sitting, it would be your left side. So that's your female hand, right? Your feminine energy side, what you receive. So it almost feels as like, through just the pure imagination of this, just the pure longing and wanting to have more growth, more blossoming in your relationships, financially, in your creative pursuits, whatever this is for you, that as opposed to like pouring them in to a pool, you're actually in the abundant, like the abundant universe, right? The pool of blessings that God has for us. Ancestral gifts, right? Lineage gifts that are just kind of floating in the ethers, ready to come down and transform for us, right? Transform into the physical 3D. Just the pure longing and wanting that you have. And you're actually, the force of it is almost pulling, I'm calling it like the pool of potential. You're like pulling, attracting, receiving out of this pool of potential. It's really amazing with this infinity sign at the top of your hood, right? You know, it talks about like cycles, like things that have always been yours, Virgo. And it's like, you've gotten a little taste of it thus far, and it's made you more thirsty. It's made you more hungry. And it's as though that added hunger, it's as though is the pulling driving force, that it's naturally just attracting itself to you, pulling it out of the pool of potential, as opposed to pouring into this like, I'm seeing like a wishing well. Instead of like putting coins in the wishing well, I'm almost seeing you standing in front of it and just being like, I wish, and the coins sort of rising out of the fountain back into your hand. It's fascinating, the energy. And then you have it out by card number 24, Mermaid Love. So maybe you are trying to blossom a relationship, perhaps, or you're trying to bring something from a different world, a different culture, a different industry, something a little bit different than you, integrate it into your 3D experience, right? Because this man, he has feathers. He's a bird. But this woman is a mermaid. She's a mermaid. It's two different people, two different sides of the tracks. There could be a difference in religion. There could be a difference in culture. Like I said, if this is a thing or a project or a business venture, a different kind of industry, something new for you. 24, that breaks down to a 6. It's a very reciprocal, energetic exchange. And the thing that is beautiful, that mirrors so much this Magician card I was just talking about, is these two people, they're not clinging on to each other. They're not holding on for dear life. At any point, he could just fly away and she could just float back down to the bottom of the sea. But yet they stay together as if by magnetic attraction, right? This natural just pull. They're just pulled together. And so thus they just stay together without gripping, without controlling, without having to hold on. It's a very beautiful, interesting energy. It's this very natural alchemy from all of these different areas. Because again, with this mermaid and this whirlpool, water energy, beautiful. And then you have this lovely earth energy down here with the plants, more earth energy over here with the plants. And then you have more air energy, right? Butterflies fly in the air, and then this bird energy, more air energy. It's gorgeous. It's absolutely gorgeous. I am wondering where the wand energy is, though. This is the pulling the plug part. So like I said, there's something about you pulled the plug on something, perhaps. And you know, there is like a little bit of a reminiscent energy. I mean, perhaps it was you're reminiscing because you have the 6 of Cups in reverse. Perhaps there is a part of you that is reminiscing back on a time when things came a little bit easier to you. Abundance, blessings, like relationships. Maybe you pulled the plug on some old relationships, on a job, on a lot of things. And it used to be easier for you to like get back out there, get back in the swing of things, right? Feeling a little sentimental, feeling a little nostalgic, even for the things that you had to let go, yes. But you have the 3 of Cups and the 8 of Cups right after, which is telling me that you know that you had to pull the plug on some things, let some things go down the drain, because what you really wanted with 3 being a number of cooperation and community, also being a number of divinity, yes. And this is because 48 breaks down to a 12, and this would break down to an 11, 8 and 3. That you knew that you were going to have to free yourself, let some things go down the drain in order to go out there, yes, which might be a little hard for you to do, might be a little scary, in order to have Soul Tribe come in for you, to have celebration, which is what the 3 of Cups is, to have community, to have joy, right? And I'm getting like wonder and like splendor as well, like wanderlust. And we were just talking about that wand energy. It also is an energy of growing up too, because the 6 of Cups is also coming through as a very young energy. It's almost like, how do I put new life, create situations, involve myself in relationships, things that make me feel really young and excited when I'm feeling a little old right now. I'm feeling a little worn down, a little weary. It's interesting. It's like trying to take on full youthful energy by getting back out there, almost having that wander, that adventure, forcing yourself into an adventure energy just to imagine and wonder what it might be like to be able to pull potential out of a situation, kind of manifest some kind of divine love. Or like I said, or perhaps a situation or a dream or a goal that just seems so different, right? With these contrasts and the differences of these partners than anything that you've ever done, anything that you've ever been a part of before. Yeah, you have the 6 of Wands in reverse. So this is telling me that there's I'm here, you know, it's what's meant for me is for me. Like what you're seeking is seeking you too. You don't want to have to be competitive. You don't want to have to argue with people. You don't want to have to fight with people. You don't want to have to climb all over people either. It's like a jungle gym energy. It's like you don't want to do that to try and put like a round peg in a square hole. You don't want to do that anymore, Virgo. You're like, if it doesn't work, it doesn't work. If it doesn't fit, it doesn't fit. If it's not for me, it's not for me. So with the 7 of Swords, it's like, with swords being air logic energy, you're like, logically, I just have to get out of here. And it's probably best if I do it as quietly as possible. Again, with this 5 of Wands, you're like, I don't want to argue. I don't really want to have to explain myself. I most certainly do not want to make a scene, is how it feels. But with the Knight of Pentacles, Knight is the slowest moving, the Knight of Pentacles is the slowest moving knight in the deck. But he is a knight that always gets what he wants at the end because he moves methodically, right? Pentacles is your earth energy. And there is, like I said, a pulling the plug, like a drainage of simplifying to amplify, kind of by getting other things, people, places, things out of your energy. It leaves more room for you to explore your energy, see how you can manifest, different ways you can imagine, can dream, can explore, have that adventure, that wandering energy. Like, not all who wander are lost, sort of thing. And it's almost like in the process of doing this, you might be losing different pentacles, right? You might have to give up some money, you might have to give up some stability, some networking, you know, some connections that you might have. But this horse also represents freedom. Horses also represent a certain amount of sexual liberation as well, which I think is interesting. A lot of it is, I think about like your root chakra when it comes back to that sexual liberation, like your root and your base chakra being your centers of not only lust, obviously, but fear, abandonment, rejection, the things that really prevent that fool energy, right? That taking a leap of faith, that childlike faith energy, because we're afraid and we don't know if it's going to work out for us, and we don't know if we're going to be accepted or if we're going to be capable or qualified of being able to make these things happen for ourselves. But it's you know, it's like in the Bible when they talk about how God blesses his children just purely based off of faith alone. Not because you're qualified, just because you're faithful. God loves to gift his children. Yeah, 4 of Cups, feeling a little bit like woe is me, like sitting around here a little bit like I'm not happy with these cups that I have. They're all empty, right? And maybe, you know, it's because, again, it's a little bit of this like mournful energy, a little nostalgic, a little sentimental, because like I said, it feels like you pulled the plug, you drained the tub, right? It's like you emptied out all of these cups. Now you're looking at a bunch of empty cups again, though, but not realizing that there's new Ace of Cups kind of loving situation that wants to come in for you with this rainbow kind of pouring into it, already filling it up with rainbow frequency, being directly connected to Christ consciousness, divinely guided, divinely filled, divinely favored and blessed. Yeah, it feels, I'm almost hearing like, well, I had no other choice, because you have the strength and you have the King of Wands being strong enough to use your masculine energy, right? Remember how I was saying you were naturally attracting and receiving these things? Even though, like I said, it's like right above your head. It like hasn't quite like made it to your eye into the 3D, but it's right there, this transformation in your relationship, in your career. It could be in every aspect of your life, honestly, because sometimes, you know, readers, we say it could be business or it could be love. Like a lot of times these readings, they apply to all aspects of your life, not just one, right? But this change, it's right there. It's like right in the ethers. It's like a download coming in your computer, right? It's like pixelation. It's like the photo hasn't quite formed yet, but it's coming in for you. And you're trying to be strong enough to use your masculine energy. King of Wands is passionate. Finally, we have this Wands energy come in for you. He's also very motivated, and he also makes plans. I always see the King of Wands as somebody with a map. He knows the kingdom. He is able and confident, even if he's kind of wandered farther than his normal perimeters. He can figure out, get the real gist of the landscape and make plans. And again, with this lion in the background, it's like Lion of Judah energy, right? It's like Christ energy over there, like always watching you, always being there for you. Your crown, you have a crown of fire right here. And it's because in the past you have the Ace of Pentacles and you have the 10 of Pentacles and you have the Ace of Cups in reverse, because in the past you did not have this stable foundation. And like I said, you don't have this Ace of Cups because you had to pour them all down the drain, because intuitively, instinctually, in your magician energy, you knew you weren't able to pull any potential out of that. And so you've pulled the plug, you've drained the tub, and now you're kind of looking at something that's wilted, like wishing that you could make it bloom. But it feels like it's something new, almost as though I see you plucking the petals off of all the dead flowers, and then you were just going along your path, right? And this kind of Knight of Pentacles, wander, lusty, 8 of Cups sort of energy. And then you just find this one flower on the ground and it's a little bit droopy, and you're like, oh, it's so pretty though. I really like it. I wish I knew how to make this bloom. Not realizing that the angel of blooming is right above your head. 10 of Wands in reverse. I want more on that. I want this on top. Miss Sunshine. Yeah, so I had a question. So with this Ten of Wands in reverse, there is an aspect of you that is prone to settling. That is prone to settling. Like, well, maybe I shouldn't unpack my bags. Like, maybe I should just like leave everything here. Like, maybe I shouldn't go back out there. Like, maybe I should just stay on top of the mountain, because this card upright, this is after you've already had all the burdens, had all the struggles, made your way up the mountain. And then you were like, forget this. I'm going to pack up all my stuff. I'm going to pack up my oxen, my wand, my suitcase, and I'm going to make my way back down this mountain, and I'm going to head off. Very much, again, in the Eight of Cups energy. I think there is an energy that you might be sitting in, trying to be a little bit optimistic, like, oh, well, maybe I pulled the plug too soon. Like, maybe it's like this regretful energy, like just nervous and scared, right? Like fear of the unknown, Virgo, fear of the unknown. Like, well, maybe I can rise above the darkness in this situation. Like, maybe I could like blow out the dirt out of these cups and see if like we could refill them. But I don't know if that's the advice here. I do think staying very positive and optimistic is the advice, however. Death and rebirth. Yes, yes. You have to let yourself have this rebirth. We're actually coming up to today's the 9th? The 10th? Today's the 9th or the 10th? Well, it depends when you watch this. These readings are timeless. But something about the 13th. The 13th, that's a Tuesday where I live in the continental United States. Something might happen for you on the 13th. On the 13th for you. Yes, very good. But you are fixing to have a death and rebirth energy. What you're going through is the death, right? Like stages of grief, right? Like you go through sorrow, and then you go through bargaining, and you go through anger, and then finally you work your way through acceptance. And you know, it's like the stages of grief that you're going through a little bit right now, which is very, very normal, especially if you pulled the plug on like 4 different cups, 4 different aspects of your life. It's a lot of changes at once. 9 of Pentacles. So you're not feeling super like stable right now. You're not feeling super independent. I think particularly financially, because I did say there might have been a certain amount of a monetary, physical stability you had to give up as well. Not knowing where you're going, I think, is really freaking you out as well. Oh, that's way too many. I'll take this one. Queen of Wands. Yeah. Queen of Wands in reverse. So I think you know that whatever it was that you were dealing with before, it was not a perfect pair to you. It should have been, but something was off, something was wrong, which is why you decided to pull the plug. But there's an aspect of yourself where you're not feeling super confident, because the Queen of Wands, more than anything else, is a very confident character. She's a very confident court card. So I think that's why you're using your masculine energy right now to kind of take the brunt of that, from like a little bit of that wounded feminine, because your feminine energy is very, very busy, even if just the higher aspects of your feminine energy, without you realizing it, is pulling in this potential. Yeah, Red Garden. Red Garden. Card number 8, again. 8, another infinity. And when 8s kind of stack up, they double up like that, that's usually a sign of like divine blessings and abundance and fertility and flow and motion coming in for you. But this is very much of a turn the other cheek sort of card, that again, with this little parrot, there might be people around you that you're still kind of, that are in the force field, kind of like, what are you doing? Why would you do that? Why are you going over there? Why are you leaving? One of that, kind of just a little nitpicky, criticizing you, and you're just gonna have to turn the other cheek. You're just gonna have to keep it moving. Try again and sit in that, things are going all right. I feel abundant. I feel like there's beauty ahead of me. Like I feel like something good is coming in for me. Turn the other cheek. Focus on the beauty that's around you. Don't listen to the naysayers. Haters gonna hate. Taylor Swift taught us anything, right? Right. Very good. Yeah. Don't be afraid to go off into greener pastures, even if you don't know where those pastures are going to be, because you have the 6 of Swords and you have the Queen of Swords in reverse. The 6 of Swords is moving into calmer waters. Don't stay in choppy waters. Do not pull the drain, because you're afraid that it's going to make you come off cold to people that are going to nitpick you and criticize you anyway. Some people, it's like a damned if you do and you're damned if you don't. You're either going to be miserable if you stay in some of these situations, and people are going to be like, why are you doing that? Why are you putting up with that? Yes. And then meanwhile, if you walk away, people are going to be like, what are you doing? What are you thinking? So either way, it's like you have to do what is right for you, like regardless. Nobody's gonna die on your mountain for you, right? Ace of Wands, brand new idea, new spark of passion, new excitement, right? I'm almost getting that this is her eyes closed like that. It almost looks like a dream, right? Maybe part of this transformation is coming. We're getting some kind of angelic healing while you're sleeping as well. Something about a dream. It looks like it's something coming in. Pay attention to your dreams right now, because it feels like there wants to be something, a spark of inspiration or excitement or revitalization that wants to come in for you while you're sleeping. And the Eight of Pentacles, something for you to work on, right? Something new relationship, new passion project, your resume, like a new job, something else is coming in for you. It's like you're gonna get this while you're sleeping, and then you're gonna wake up and you're gonna immediately get to work. You're gonna really realize how much potential you've actually been pulling out, I think, when you sit down at this desk and you start really cracking into it, not realizing that you've been being prepared for this for a very, very long time. Yes. So, Virgo, that is your reading for this week. Very interesting, very cool though. Thank you so much for being here. I really, really appreciate you guys. If you are interested in your monthly, it is on the Patreon that is linked down below. I do offer personal readings. Those are available right now. My email is in the description box, along with all of the decks that I use, my social media links, my Instagram, my Twitter. I like to post stuff over there. Yeah, I think that's it. Yeah, thank you so much, Virgo, for being here. This was a really fun read. I hope that you're doing very, very well. And I love you very much. And I will see you very soon. Okay? All right. LB out.